Hello, everybody. Today we're going to begin to talk about how to begin a business. Think about this. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, if you're a current business owner, if you're thinking to build up a business, if you are the CEO of a company, no matter what we're going to talk and see today are going to be basically to any business in life. Today, we're going to talk simple techniques that you have to put in place to any business that you are thinking to do, even if it's a new one or if you have it in place. So take your time to go to this masterclass because these will be techniques that you will have to revisit and see if you are applying in your business. And if you're some of these techniques you're not applying in your business, I'm encouraging you to do it. Any business that want to be success have to apply these 5 techniques. So sit down, relax, and we're going to begin to talk about how to begin our business plan. So let's start here sharing my screen with you. Beginning to share my screen with you, we're going to begin to talk about how to begin a business plan. As I told you, begin a business plan is something that everybody always is thinking, but sometimes doesn't know how to do it. So the class today, I'm going to give you these 5 simple techniques that you have to apply to begin any business plan. But you will say, who is this guy talking to me? Why this guy is talking to me? So this is me. Who am I? My name is Jose Angel Pereira, and I'm a former hostage. I went through a hostage situation during 5 years. During 5 years, I went through a hostage situation because I had a long lasting career in the oil and gas. I worked 35 years in the oil and gas. At the end of my career, being top executive in oil and gas, I became the CEO of a multinational oil company called Circo Petroleum here in the US. The people that know 6,000 gas stations all across the US, 3 big refineries, the 6th biggest refinery company in the US. I was the CEO. So I went through this situation because there was some things going between the relation between the US and Venezuela at that moment. And I'm going to be talking about extensively to this. But the truth of the matter, I was called to a meeting in November 2017, and we got caught in what today I know is called the hostage diplomacy. They got us. They use us as a bargain chip and political pawns, and the negotiations were so hard and stayed 5 years. The good news is in October last year, October 2022, we were released and we came back. So when we came back, we said, Jose, you have a long career. You began a lot of business from scratch. You did a lot of joint ventures with international companies. You did a lot of joint venture with Italian companies, with Japanese companies, Chinese companies, with French companies, with Norwegian companies, with American companies, British companies, and always you had a startup and startup and startup, and you said, okay, but there is always a pattern that you have to follow. So that's why I decided to do this, how to begin a business. Because even if you're a small business, even if you're a medium business, or even if you are a large business, this technique always has to be used. So I decided to do this because this is my way to express my gratitude and share my experience, my expertise with you. So take your time and hear me because believe me, it's going to be helpful for you. So this is me. When I came back, I was landed in a military base in San Antonio. This is my grandson. He was one of my family that received me. There, you see the shadow. Somebody was taking the photo. I never knew who was that, but this was the photo that was taken when I was released, October 2022. Very blessed, very blessed on that. This is me, because today there's a mural with our faces because we are strong advocators today of the hosted community. There's a face in a mural that is in Washington D.C. So when I came back, I went with my wife, and there's a sticker that I had the opportunity to put there that I was welcome after 1,775 days of being in captivity. This is me. Today, I have been loudly advocating for this community and have been going to the Congress to make legislation to raise awareness on the hostess community. And this is me. Today, I'm a speaker. Today, I am a signature speaker called From Captivity to Freedom, where I talk about my journey and how they can help others to overcome adversity. And this is me. Today, I have a coaching program called Life Field for a Surviving Guide, LPSG, where I basically tackle two things: problems with a company, they're having adversities, communication problem with their employees, a problem in the workplace, some employees issue. I coach them, I teach them, I empower them, and I the bottleneck those situations. And at the same time, I'm coaching the CEOs of the management of the company, doing risk assessment on travel trip. People that have traveled abroad, or they have people that are assigned to branch expat. I'm working in that area also, and also I'm helping them if some situation happened, how to navigate this, because I'm connected to all these hostage community today. So this is me with a large hosted community today that are involved. You will see in this picture journalists. You will see there NGOs, foundations, a government agency, a lot of people that today we are connected. So this is me. So today I'm going to begin teaching you about how to begin your business. So there are basically 5 points that you have to take in consideration. The first one, you have to build a business plan. Second one, you have to have a marketing strategy. Third one, you need to have a financial management. Fifth, you have to build strong teams. Fifth, you have to have embracing the digital transformation. Let's deep dive in all these things. Let's begin with the first one. But first of all, let me hear about you. Who are you? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a solopreneur? Are you a business owner? Or are you a startup? Are you the CEO of a large company? Or are you simply thinking to how to build a business? No matter what is your situation, no matter the size of the company, those fifth element you have to follow. So let's begin with the first one. That is the business plan. People talk about the business plan, but what is a business plan? So the business plan, imagine in 5 seconds that you're going to build your home, your dream home. What is the first thing you have to do before even begin to build your own? 1 minute, think. I'm going to give you 1 minute to think. The first thing that you had to do before building a home is doing your blueprint. Okay, you will say, oh, I think once again, yeah, you need to have a blueprint. Can you imagine going to a contractor to say, okay, there is the land, build me the house there. What is the contractor going to ask to you? Give me the blueprints. Because without the blueprint, he cannot do nothing. He needs to know where the things are going to be, where he's going to build the floor, where the windows are going to be, where the doors are going to be, where the walls are going to be, how the size of the room, where the restroom is going to be. He needs have a blueprint. That is the business plan. So, my friend, you can never begin a company, a business without a business plan. So ask you the question, do I have a business today and I don't have a business plan? You have to build a business plan. If you're thinking to start up a business, you need a business plan. Business plan is your roadmap. Business plan is where you're going to go. Business plan is where you see yourself. Business plan will permit you to measure how you're doing. The business plan is the strategic roadmap where you want to be. So you need to understand this, how the business will evolve. The second thing you have to do is you need to have effective marketing strategy. Looks simple, my friend. Many companies today don't have clear marketing strategy. First of thing, you need to have the best, the most cost efficient market techniques. The world of today has been evolving. I'm an old fashioned guy. If you go back to 30, 40 years ago, the marketing strategy was basically uh, with a sales force, having big sales force, regional sales force, national sales force, international sales force, training people all over the world was very emphasizing in that. But the market has been evolving. The marketing has evolved into the social media. Today, the marketing strategy is more tied to the social media. So now, but even that, companies still have that blend. Many companies still have workforce and have social media. Some of them have evolved totally to the social media. When the Amazons and the eBays and all these companies interrupt in the space, change the world. But let me tell you, there are some companies that can be even be bigger of Amazon. Have you ever heard about Alibaba? Alibaba is one of the biggest marketing company in the social media in the world. Is Chinese, by the way, and it's even bigger than Amazon. I invite you to go to explore it. It's huge. It's the revolution in the marketing. So today, you need to understand what is your marketing strategy. What is going to be your blend in the online and the offline strategy? What is going to be your social media strategies? In which platform you want to be? How is going to be your customer engagement? How you're going to approach them? How you're going to build up your brand? We're going to talk later about this. And then goes the financial management. Money. How you're going to get the money? How you're going to expend the money? How you're going to receive the money? And how you're going to obtain the financing of the money. So we're going to be talking here about the budget. We're going to be talking here about the cash flow. And we're going to be talking here about the funding options that you have in the market. And this, the money, is what's going to put your business to last in the time. So this is so key. Building a strong team. My friend, without team, none of the three or the four other techniques can work. You can have a beautiful business plan. You can have a beautiful marketing strategy. You can have a beautiful source of funding, and you can have beautiful digital embracement. But if you don't have the proper team, it's not going to work. So you have to have strong teams. You have to discover the way to hire, to motivate, and to retain the right talent. You need to have the right people. But to have the right people, you also have to have the right leadership. So both people and leadership, it will be together your team dynamics. So fostering that culture, embracing that culture, that synergy between your people and you as the leader, that will enhance your productivity and that will make the employee satisfaction, and they will be a wonderful place to work. Have you seen those companies that are awarded the best place to work? You want to be there. You want to be the place that people want to work, because those employees that are motivated will always give you the extra mile. We're going to talk about later this. This is fascinating. I feel a lot of passion because I can share with you in my long career. One of the things that today I extensively talk is that everything is about people. If you take out your suit, if you hang your suit, if you take out your titles, you are people. You are a folk, the same as your employee. Take that into consideration. And finally, you have to embrace the digital transformation. Why is so important embracing the digital transformation? Because this is the new world. The new world is evolving to the e-commerce. So to control the e-commerce, you need to control your data. You need to understand analytics, how you're tackling your customer. Are you going to your real avatar? Are you engaging them? How is if your strategy working? If you're spending money, how is that return of investment of the ROI of that money? You have to understand. You have to have the digital tools. You have to have the proper CRM. You have to have the proper SEO. So you need to be competitive in the digital market. You have to embrace the change. You have to have a proper mindset to embrace the change. So, going through these 5 techniques, let's go and deep dive each one of them. So, let's begin from the business plan. So, for to do a business plan, the first thing that I need now we know that this is the roadmap. So, but and then I know that this is like the frame where I want to be. So you need to have 3 things here. You have to have a clear vision, a clear mission, and clear goals. 3. What is the vision? The vision is where you see your business in the future. If you close your eyes and you imagine where my business wants to be in 3 years, that is your vision. Where you see your business in 3 years, do you see a bigger business? Do you see the same business? Do you see more branch? Do you see more employee? Do you see more line of services? What do you see? So that is your vision. So when you're gonna develop your business, you have to craft your statement. You have to put your purpose, and then you have to put it in a table, and then that will be your vision where you want to head. Now comes the mission. What is the mission? The mission is the steps that I have to do to get to my vision. So anything the steps that I have to do ahead to go to that vision is going to be my mission. For example, if I decided that I want to have 3 branches instead of one, that I begin my business with one, but in 3 years I see 3 branches, and instead of one line of product, I see 3 line of product, and instead of 10 employees, I see 50 employees. So I put that in my vision. So what I had to do to have the 3 branches, what I had to do to have the 3 new products, what I had to do to have the 10 to 50 employees, all the steps. Do I have to have a strategy to have more business space? Do I have to have more strategy to funding? Do I need to hire a new expert to run my machine? Do I have to buy new machines? So everything that I have to do to get to my vision is my mission. And then goes the goals. What are the goals? The goals are all those steps that I have to put together in 1 year to be accomplishing my mission and my vision. So as you see in the picture I put, there was everybody rowing in the same direction. So the goals have to row in the same direction of the mission, and the mission has to row in the same direction of the vision. It will never work having a vision to go here, a mission to go there, and goals going here. All have to be aligned. So how I develop my yearly goals. My goals five things that have to comply. The goals have to be specific. The goals have to be measurable. The goals have to be achievable. The goals have to be relevant, and the goals have to be in a time frame. Let's talk about it. A specific goal. The goal has to be specific for something. Following with the example that we're doing, I want to have three new more branch in 3 years. So I decided to have a selling strategy to have funding so I can have money to contract three more spaces for my three new branches. So one of the goals, a specific goal, will be what will be my selling strategy this year to raise the target of money that I need. So I put a specific target. I said I will do X amount of selling of X amount of product in X amount of time. So that's very specific, measurable. When I said X, I'm putting a measure. It can be 20, and it can be 20%, and it can be 20,000, and it can be always using a figure to get measured. So not only has to be specific, has to be measurable. Why? Because at the end I'm gonna compare what I expected and what was the result. I need to measure it. That's why it had to be measurable. It had to be achievable. It had to be something reasonable, my friend. You cannot put a goal that I want to go to the moon because you don't have the rocket to go to the moon. You have to put something specific to your business and achievable, something reasonable, but it has to be meaningful, it has to be relevant, it has to be achievable, but it has to be meaningful because you're not going to put, I want to wake in the morning and go to my job. That's not meaningful. That's something you have to do no matter what. So you have to say, I want to have a 30% more of sales to achieve my goal of new money in 3 months in a way that I can enhance my business to have three lines of product in the next 3 years. That's something reasonable. Is specific, is measurable, and is relevant. And then you have put a time, you have to put a frame beginning that date and finishing that date. You can say in 1 month, in 3 months, in 3 years, in 4 years. If our goal is more than 1 year, so you specifically say what portion you expect to have it ready this year. For example, if you have, I want to enhance a 30% of my business in 3 years. But I said, but in the first year, I want to achieve a 10% of that 30%. So you measure that portion of the year. So my goal now has to be specific, has to be measurable, has to be achievable, has to be relevant, and has to be in a time frame. When I encapsulate that, that's a goal. Typically in a business, you have to be very specific, no more than five big goals. Normally, in my experience, when you were in a department, you try to establish the five main goals. You can have a lot of sub goals and sub goals, but that core five big goals because it's big. It's a big deal. Five goals, five relevant, big, measurable, impactable goals will make your company powerful because those five goals, if you get and hit those goals, you are going to be hitting your mission and you're going to be hitting your vision. So if you tackle it in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, if you have a 3 years business plan, you're going to be there. I tell you, you're going to be there. So now comes our marketing strategies. Where we're talking that the new world is merging to the social medias. So today we're in the digital age. So we need to know our audience. Who is my audience? To whom I'm going to be talking? What is my avatar? What is my perfect customer? That is the first thing that I need to know. To whom I want to talk. If I'm going to sell ice cream, I have to know who, who are my potential customer. Are going to be young guys? Are going to be kids? Are going to be adults that love the ice cream? What type of ice cream I'm going to sell to them? What is the average age of my client? Where they're located? Are what ethnic they have? What type of belief they have? So can be many ways to measure it. So and you will tell me how I do it. Well, today there are many ways to do it. You can Google things. You can go to polls. You can have. There are a lot of data there that you can use it when you are doing your business plan. You want to begin a business. The first thing you have to do is do a lot of research. I can tell you, you have to the success of a business plan is doing a good and qualified and relevant research. If you have good data, you're going to have a good business plan. So having your perfect avatar, then now you have to say, okay, now I know who I want to approach. So that now comes how I want to approach it. What platform I'm going to use. Do I'm planning to use Facebook? Do I'm planning to use Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, or another, or my webpage? I don't know. So this is fascinating because let me tell you, my experience is that depending of your audience, there could be a different platform to be used. But let me tell you, I know people, for example, in my case, LinkedIn is a wonderful platform when if you're in a coaching program like I am, selling professional service and advising services, because typically there is where the professionals go, and all the statistics told you that the average income of a LinkedIn person is almost the double that somebody is in Facebook or Instagram, and it's like a 30 or 40% more professional. So LinkedIn is a wonderful platform to be, but there are people that do it great in Instagram. They do it great in Facebook. Facebook had these wonderful tools. There's the Facebook groups. Many people are merging and having a combination, landing in the Facebook group, and then from them they send to LinkedIn. So you can combine. You need a strategy. There are people doing TikTok. They're doing great. There are people that are doing great. There are people do funny things in TikTok and do great. There are people that are very serious in TikTok and do great. So it's up to you what it works for you. So this is how you leverage your perfect social media. And then comes the third thing. Content is king. You have to have relevant content for your audience. You have to tackle your niche. You have to narrow your niche. You cannot be talking to everybody. You can you cannot say that your niche is going to be the world. I have seen people saying I want to change the world. That's a very wonderful thing to think about, but not for your business. Your business has to be very specific. What is your niche? When you understand your niche, you will narrow that niche, you will tackle your message, and then your content is going to be powerful because it's going to be the king. It's going to be meaningful. It's the way you're going to engage your audience. And then you doing this, having a creative content, having the right platform, using the right marketing strategy, my friend, you're going to be positioned your brand. You're going to create your own brand. You need to be a brand. So being a good storyteller, the way you tell your story, the way you place your content, the way you engage your audience, the way you approach them, can be paying ads, can be organic. I don't know. It will be your strategy. But the way you do this is gonna create your brand. It's gonna create your authority. It's gonna create the trust because this is a matter of the people believing you and having trust in you. So this is so important. Please take into account. And then comes the marketing strategy. The marketing strategy is so important because this is money. So there are three things that have to be taken into consideration: your budget, your cash flow, and the funding dreams. So the first thing is the budget. What is the budget? The budget is kind of it's a simple way to say it. It's like having the master plan, but in a yearly basis. I forgot to say, the master plan. You have a several steps that you have to follow, and basically, when you prepare a master plan, sorry, I forgot to say this, is that the master plan, when you have it ready, that is basically a 3 or 4 or 5 years or whatever time frame that you decide to create a master plan, because it depends on the business. Let me tell you, in today's business is difficult because based on the current situation, recession, inflation, predicting the market is becoming a big deal. I can tell you, when I was in the oil and gas, and we were with these big joint ventures, and because there was a contract frame, we had to create business plan for 25 years. Can you imagine all the work that means imagine the future in 25 years? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So for a business, a small business that you're beginning, I strongly recommend that do like a three, no more than 5 year business plan. A 3 years, I think is okay. You always can be revisiting. So that business plan, basically, you're gonna create a framework. It's gonna be like a term sheet, and the spreadsheet that is, it can be even Excel. There are some tools, but you can do it in Excel. So you have your income, you have your expense, and you have your cost, and then you will have the profit, the margins. Typically, a business when you begin, my friend, the first year or at least the first 6 months, normally you are in red. Normally, you have to put money. So that is what is called the capital seed, the initial capital that you will need to begin that business. So when you do that business plan, so you create like a summary, executive summary of it. So business plan is like a book, so you have the executive summary, what you think is going to be in a snapshot. Anybody can see in 1 or 2 page what the business is about. So you can talk about what you're going to be your selling, your strategy in marketing, what is going to be your mission, your vision, and your plan. It's a snapshot. So once you have that executive summary, so you have this business plan, and you begin to put all these strategies that we're talking today in a paper. So you put all these strategies in a paper, and they're going to be part of that. It's in a book. So now that you know that you will need funds, how you're going to get the funds, how you're going to control those funds, and how it's going to be the way to obtain those funds. So the first thing is your budget. As I said, you have your business plan, and the budget is like a yearly business plan. So you put together with all your goals and all your cost and all your premises of the budget, because the budget, you will need premises. You have to know what is your expected inflation rate, what is your expected depreciation rates, what is your expected monetary assessment. So, and what is you expected your growth? You put a lot of premises based on your line of business, and then you create your budget. You plan like if you're gonna run that business for 1 year. So you project your income, you project your expenses, and you project your costs, and then you have your income minus your expenses minus your cost. So you have your margin profit. You put the expected tax you have to pay, and then finally you have the expected income after tax. You will know in that budget if you're going to be in red or you're going to be in blue. Depending on that, maybe you're going to need cash support. So now comes the cash flow. Cash flow is key in all this process, because this is a combination of what is going to be your account payables and your account receivables. So the bills that you have to pay and the invoices that you're sending to your customer, how you going to expect it to be your sale? Are you going to do it in advance? Are you going to do cash advances? Are you going to do down payments? Are you going to expect finance your product? Are you going to use credit card? What you're expecting to get your money, and also what expecting to be your billing cycle. Here is important, your inventories. How much inventory you want to have? How you're going to finance inventory? How long it takes the cycle of replenishing the inventory? All these things putting together, you can have the money that comes and the money that goes. And of course, you need more money coming than money going. If not, you're going to have a negative cash flow. Let me tell you, one of the biggest concerns and issues and burdens of many companies, that they have wonderful and strong projects with wonderful assets, but they don't have cash. And you know what happened? At the end, they broke. Many companies broke because they don't have cash. They don't have control on their cash flow. So cash flow is so important. And then comes your funding, where the money is gonna come from. Are you gonna use loans? Are you gonna use your own fundings? Are you spending going to go to the market? What is going to be the source of your funding? I strongly recommend today the people that are looking to me, if you're a small business, if you're planning to do I don't know, um, put a store, a franchise, small business, even as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, I strongly recommend if you are in the US, go to the Small Business Association. The SBA is a strong association that is had government support. Even they are not a government agency per se, but they have government support. Normally, they are attached to the local university. In my case, that I live in Houston, the SBA here is supported by the Houston University. I have used it because my wife has a franchise, and I strongly recommend it. They have wonderful people there that they can help you uh, build up your business plan. They can help you on all these things we're talking today. They have people that can help you there on a pro bono basis. It's free. It's free. They give you training even, and they put you in a place that when you have your business plan, you're ready to go to a bank. Even they have wonderful loan opportunities. SBA has some banks affiliated that have SBA loans with a reasonable interest rate. In this world, the interest is so high. So I strongly recommend going to the Small Business Association. But if not, you can go to a commercial bank. Maybe you have a bank that is supporting you, or maybe you have somebody that is willing to put the money to put the capital seed, or you have some funding that you're going to invest there, or maybe you decided to go to all the way along to go to the market. So there are many ways to get your funding, but you need to have the clear strategy before you start your business. You have to know where the money is going to come from. And something so important is how to scale your business, because part of the strategy in the business plan is where I see my business in the future. Do I want to have a steady business that in 3 years is not going to grow? Is I'm going to keep it? Well, that could make sense. Many people decide to have a business, only want to live with that. That's it. That's your plan. Fair enough. Can be done. But normally in a business, you want to grow. You begin a business because you want to be steady in the future. You want to grow. You want to grow your market. You want to grow your scale. You want to grow the size of of your business. You want to grow the size of the products that you. So you decide how you want to grow. So, but the important is if you're gonna grow, if you wanna scale, you need to have three things that have to take into consideration. You have to keep the quality first. Quality is king. So you cannot scale a business if your quality is going to be poor. So you need to increase your quality because in the matter that your demand grows, the challenge on your quality is going to be bigger. You have to know the market that you're going to be entering. My friend, this is something so key. So many people has been failing and has screwed their business because they don't know the market they're going. I remember always people trying to approach the Spanish market in the U.S. using technique that they use in their prior countries. This is very typical. I'm a Venezuelan born, and many Venezuelan people that I know that have come here to do business in the U.S. have failed in their business because they think they can do their business the way they did it in Venezuela, and they don't understand that the Spanish people that are here in the U.S. is totally different because the Spanish people here, even that talk Spanish, has a behavior as a American, have American behavior, culture. So you have to adapt it. It's the same if you do it the other way. If you're an American trying to do business in China or I don't know in Europe, you need to understand the cultural difference. And let me tell you that the companies that have been successful, that has been key. There's a very good example. Kentucky Fried Chicken is the most biggest franchise in China. You know why? The Chinese love the fried chicken. But you know what they did? They adapted to that market. You go, I have been there. You go to a Chinese branch, any franchise of Kentucky Fried Chicken, by the way, you find it all over the corners, all over that, thousands of millions. I don't know how much. It's the biggest franchise, but they have adapted to the culture. The way they prepare the chicken is the way that the flavor that the Chinese love with the sauces they love. So they adapted their franchise to that culture. So you need to understand that. And you have to have cost efficient operation. You cannot grow your market. You cannot grow your business if you grow your expenses. You have to be need to control those costs. Very important. And then you have to embrace the changes. This is so important. In the new world, you need to understand the changes. The companies that are success are the ones that embrace the changes. You need to understand. You have to be fostering that. How is the innovation? How is the market trend? What is your competition doing? What are the things that are being proven in your business? You have to adapt to that innovations. So if you don't adapt to that, my friend, your business is going to die. If not, talk with the blockbuster guys or talk with the BlackBerry guys or many companies that in the past has been very successful, they fail because they don't adapt to the innovations. And my friend, this after saying this, I want to go to my conclusion. So starting a business is really a key thing in this world. It's a journey that you need. First, you have to plan. You have to have a business plan. If you don't plan, you don't have the roadmap for this. You need to have your strategies. You need to have your what is going to be the way I'm going to tackle my avatar, my perfect audience, what medias I'm going to use, what is going to be the content to approach them, how I'm going to engage them, how I'm going to begin my brand. Once I have all of this, I have to have the source of my money, how I'm going to control the money, how I'm going to receive the funding, and how I'm going to, the source of the loans, where I'm going to get that money. And then I had to embrace the employees. I had to tackle the right people. I had to and love them. I had to put them in a way that they want to stay with me. They want to work with me. They feel that company that this is their company. They're gonna do the extra mile. They're gonna do proactive things. So they want to. You want to have employees that really feel that they're working in the right place, that you're taking care of them, that you're a great leader, that you're working hand in hand with them. So if you do all these things and then you are embracing the challenge and that you're embracing any innovation, that you are still ahead of your competition, you're doing different things, you're the king of all of this, my friend, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful. So this is my final takeaway for you. So please take in consideration any business you want to begin in the world, you have to take this into consideration. So said this, all these things we said. I want to now talk about because I have been talking about me and what I have been doing. Today, I want to introduce to you that I decided to write my book of my experience that I went through, and when I'm talking about all these things that today, not basically this thing how I decided to overcome my adversity. As I said, today I have a coaching program, and today I speak publicly on this. Is because I decided to transform my adversity in something that I couldn't transcend. So I decided to write my book. My book is called From Hero to Villain, the true story of the Silgo Six, because our case, when it happened, we were six executives. And because we work in Silgo, at some point, the press put us the Silgo Six. It became like a brand. We became a brand. So my book, From Hero to Villain, because the situation that happened to us, they put us like we were billions because they wanted to have us like a bargain chip. So it was a very, very nightmare. Let me say it was a nightmare, but we decided to overcome it. That is today referring my book. So the way we're gonna do this is that in the next week it's gonna be outside in a publisher called Publicizer. They're gonna begin to pre-market the book. So the person that are hearing this, I'm gonna ask them to please support me in this pre-marketing. So what I'm gonna do with the people that can go and go to the pre-sale or the Publicizer, I'm gonna do two things to you. The first thing that I'm gonna do is gonna give you a free coaching session of my life build for surviving guide, free to you. I'm gonna book a session with you. I'm gonna do a session where I'm gonna explain techniques that today I'm teaching how to overcome adversity in your life, any adversity. So anything that can go through, I'm gonna do one-on-one with you, so you can tell me about your situation, and we can work through that on a free coaching session. But I'm gonna do another second thing to you. I'm gonna give you the to the person that gonna uh, buy in the pre-sale my book. I'm going to give you one of the key chapters of that book so you can see exactly what the book is going to. It's going to be like something that only you are going to have. And then I'm going to create a Zoom call after that when we can have coaching and a Q&A session talking about the book. So basically, I'm going to give you these two things. The first, a coaching, 1 day coaching session with you. And second, we're going to have a Zoom call where we're going to talk about my book, because my book today, my friend, I want you that to be the legacy to you, to help to anybody to overcome adversity in life. So said this, thank you very much for hearing me. If you're hearing me this today, I'm going to leave there the links so you can see a little bit more about the book, or I'm going to leave this that you can take their lesson from there. So thank you for being attending this. I'm going to continue doing another master class after this, but this was the simple techniques that I wanted to put to you to help you to overcome anything in your life. So said this, thank you very much for hearing me.